you can also find all of the conversions between US and the metric system on page B1, which is like the very last page that has print of your hardcover book. And so I think that's just easier to reference. It has some of these same conversions, but it also has a lot more. The areas that you'll be using are actually the very center of that page. You have US customary to metric and then metric to US customary. And you need to understand that it doesn't matter which one of those sets you use. These are all approximations, approximately about how much the conversion would be. It's not an exact. And that's what this little symbol right here means. It means about. It's not exactly equal, but it's about that much. Also, as long as you're matching labels, it's not going to matter which conversion you use. They'll both be very close to each other in answers, but they're not, once again, going to be exactly the same. As long as you're matching units, you'll be okay. So when converting between US and metric, you can set up a set of proportions with your known unit as well as your conversion. So here I've got convert 5 liters to quarts. So I went ahead and set it up just like we did with the US system of measure. That we practiced in the first part of this lesson. So I set up 5 liters is about blank quarts. And out of the back of the book, or up at the top of the screen, I have 1 quart is the same as 0.95 liters. Now also in the back of the book, they do have 1 liter. Let's see, 1 liter is 1.06 quarts. So you could use either of those, but the key thing is to make sure that you are matching labels. So if I use this conversion that I have up at the top of the screen, I'm going to match labels. So my liters needs to go in the front. So 0.95, and that was the liters, is about the same as 1 quart. Okay, so now I'm going to go through and I'm going to cross multiply divide. So 1 times 5 is going to give me 5. So 5 divided by 0.95 is going to give me 5.26. So about 5.3 quarts. Okay. Had I used the other conversion, so I'm going to jump that over here. Let's say I was looking in the back of the book, and in the back of the book, I noticed, oh, it said liters first, so I need to find where it says liters first. So down in the bottom part, middle of the page, it says 1 liter is 1.06 quarts. So 1 liter is 1.06 quarts. Now, I can still use that conversion, even though that it's not exactly the same as this one, and they're different numbers. You just have to realize that in one of them, they're giving us the 1 liter, so they're giving us the 1 of the metric, and in the other one, they're giving us the 1 of the US. I can still use this conversion if I want to, and this is actually probably the most precise because it is going in the same order of liters to quarts. So if I go through and do my cross multiply divide, I'm going to do 5 times 1.06. And when I do that, it still gives me 5.3. So realize that it's going to give you something close. It may not be exact. Our previous answer actually rounded up to 5.3. This one gave me exactly 5.3. They're going to be close, not always that close, but in this situation, it gave us a very close answer of 5.3. I will accept either, and I will tell you right now that if you had this on like Iowa assessment, they're not going to have 2 answers that are super close anyway. So if you know one of the conversions in your head, then use that conversion. Okay, so here I have 14 quarts is about how many liters. So once again, we'll go ahead and use the same conversion. So I've got 1 quart, so matching labels. 1 quart was stated first up here, is equal to 0.095, 0.95 liters. So I'm going to cross multiply, divide. So 0.95 times 14, and then divide by 1 is going to give me the same thing. I just found out that that is 13.3 liters. Okay, and same thing. Had I used the other conversion, just to show you, so 13.3 is what we had. I'm going to drop that off to the side. Had I used the other conversion out of the back of the book that had liters to quarts, what was it? 1 liter was 1.06 quarts. It's just this time I end up dividing. So 1 times 14 is 14 divided by 1.06. It gives me 13.2. So not exactly the same, but it's about the same. It's a little over 13 quarts, or sorry, 13 liters. So as long as you are matching labels, it's not going to matter which set you use. Okay, so this time I've got 8 centimeters equals blank inches. So centimeters to inches. Well, here I've got inches to centimeters. So let's go ahead and use that one. So I'm going to match labels. So 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Notice I matched labels. That's why I put my centimeters in the front and my inches in the back, matching labels. So cross multiply divide, well, 1 times 8 is 8, so I end up taking 8 divided by 2.54. And when I do that, I get 3.149, so 3.15, 3.2 rounded. So if I was doing a multiple choice test, I'm going to look for that number that's around the 3.1, 3.2 range. All right, so I want you to try this one. So we've got 23 miles is about how many kilometers? Okay, so your conversion is right up here. You can use the conversion out of the back of your book also. So 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. So go ahead and convert that. You have 23 miles and you want to convert that into kilometers. You should have gotten 36.8 kilometers for that one. Doing that cross multiply divide, matching your labels. Okay, so let's try one more. Okay, 25 kilograms to pounds. So you should have ended up taking 25 divided by 0.45, which would have been 55.6 rounded, because it was 0.5 repeating. So sorry, it wouldn't be 0.6 repeated, it would be 0.6 rounded. So 55 and a half approximately pounds. Okay, so that's working metric system. Had I used the conversion out of the back, let's see what we would have gotten on that one. Let's see, kilograms. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So just in case somebody used that one, 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So cross multiply, we'd end up doing 2.2 times 25 would give us 55. So both are very close to each other, just slightly different. Both of them right around 55 pounds. So that's it for converting between US and metric. Key thing on this one is making sure that you match up your labels.